Hi, this is episode 4 of The House That Fam Built. Um, I have recorded like maybe 15 minutes um, of words before this, and I just said, you know what? I started this organically and I'm going to keep it organic. One of the things that I've been working on with me has been forgiveness. Now, I never thought that I was an unforgiving person. And some of the traits of holding on to grudges can appear in many things. It can appear in addictions. It could be appear in being overweight. It can appear in being guarded, overly guarded, distrustful. And for me, I I couldn't. It made it hard for me to forgive people who disappointed me. And I thought I had forgave them. I thought it was over. you know. But how can you forgive someone who disappointed you? First, disappointment only comes when you have expectations, right? I went in naively in a lot of the relationships in my life, expecting other people to give me what I gave them. And it just never happened. I always tried to operate, and this is since I was a little girl, I always tried to operate in the highest state of integrity, in the highest state of forthrightness. Even a higher state of integrity is internal integrity. It's what you do when people aren't looking, when there's nobody there to judge you. And I always thought other people operated and lived that way. And not only was I wrong because they didn't, but I learned I was wrong because I believed that they did. There's a difference. I was wrong because they didn't, but I was wrong to have put someone up to that high of a pedestal, expecting them to have had the same experiences that I had growing up or learning about life, expecting them to rise to the same occasion just as me, and not accounting for human frailty, not accounting for the environment they grew up in, or the demons they're slaying or dealing with every day, or the parents they had, or the traumas and tragedies that happened to them. See, the house that my family built was fuck around and find out. I don't want to cuss, but that's what it was. We built the, if you mess me over, guess what? Washing my hands with you. My absence will be your lesson. And to this day, I still wrestle with the fact that if someone messes me over in my life, in this life, I always say I can be the lesson or the blessing. And there's a truth to that. And there's something righteous about having that thought. I can be the person that blesses you, and you can get everything from me: wisdom, encouragement, advice, help in any way that I can assist you, I will do. Or you can mess me over, and then I can be the lesson. How you lost that good girl, or how you lost that good friend, or how you lost that good, you know, person, reliable associate that was just there for you and didn't have to be, didn't ask for anything in return. And this is why we got to deal in the houses, because a part of that is a good thing. It's called self-preservation. It's called not becoming a doormat or allowing yourself to get walked over. But the other part of that is bad. The reason why I say bad, or it would come off as negative, is because you're basically saying, I'm waiting for you to mess up. And then I'm going to sentence you to the hell that you're going to have in your life without me. Whoa, that was a hard thing to get over. That's a hard thing because it's rooted in a truth. And the truth is that people will disappoint you. People are going to hurt you. You are going to hurt in this life. Sometimes people hurt you unintentionally. It's called iniquity. Just having habits and behaviors that are just iniquitous in its origin. And they don't even know that they do it. It could be someone hurting your feelings. It could be someone being insensitive. It could be someone taking you for granted. I will not be God or the devil to that person. And if I decide that I'm having trouble forgiving you, it's not a problem with you. It's a problem with me. Because at the end of the day, we are called to clean up our own houses. And some of us are called that while we're cleaning up our house, and if we finished our house in a certain room, we can come back and tell another person how to do it and give them a little bit of insight on what worked for us and what didn't work. But a lot of the things that we do will constantly and almost always be rooted in iniquity. That means we don't even know we did it. We don't even know we do this, that it's a sin or that it's a sin against you. So how do we handle that? How do we handle unforgiveness? How do we handle dangling the carrot of, if you don't do this, I'm going to do that? The carrot of vengeance, vindictiveness, because that's the real root of it. The real root is that I had zero faith that anybody, and this is not when I first started out. I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. I thought everybody thought like me. I thought everybody was loving, everybody was caring, everybody was forgiving. But at some point, this is where the house had to get cleaned up. When I learned that it wasn't that way, I began to be a note taker. I began to say, you know what, I'm just going to give this person this much rope, this much leeway. And if they hurt me or they say something wrong to me, I can't wait to be that person's consequence. And that was wrong. That was evil. That was planning a trap and waiting for the person to fall into it. So my house had unforgiveness in it. And I said, well, where is this root of unforgiveness? Because to be honest, my mother is a forgiving person. My father was a forgiving person. So how did that get in there? Yeah. Pride is another way it gets in. Somebody could tell you something about this person. Oh, don't go with that person. Don't talk to that person. Don't be friends with that person. And then you do it. And then your pride is hurt when what they said was true. And then compounded with that shame and that embarrassment. We said, we'll never let that happen again. But that wasn't where it got in with me. It got in with me through my grandmother. I love and adore my grandmother. My grandmother was brilliant, well-spoken, intelligent. But she didn't take no stuff, okay? And the one thing about her, she would give you her last. But if you messed her over, she taught me how to walk away from people mid-sentence. And there's a beauty in that. There's a righteousness in that. There's an honor in that, because you're not enacting, or you're not being vengeful and going back after them and attacking them the way that they attacked you. But there's also an arrogance in that, a dismissiveness in that. My grandmother used to say, I could see you on fire and wouldn't spit on you to put you out if you messed me over. And what that breeds inside of us is the hidden thing that we need to get to the root of. And you might not see it because it's root work. It's not fruit work. And that is a God complex. And this is for those of us that walk around here and we tend to have it a little bit more together. We tend to have it a little bit, temptations or things like that aren't really a hard thing for us. It's not hard to be good to people. For me, I'm a naturally kind person. It's not hard. It's easy. But that's the breeding ground for that generational curse. That's the breeding ground for that God complex. And then that is how you decide, if I leave, you going to hell. Where? Why would the person be in a hell? Because you're God and you're not with them. Okay? If you meet me and I'm your friend, you're going to be in heaven. Why? Because I'm God and I'm going to bless you as much as I can bless you with. And then we wonder why. The blessings leave. The help leaves. The angels waver away. Because you God now. You God. You decide who needs sunlight, the sunlight of your words and your happiness. You decide who gets the eclipse, who doesn't get to see you. It's rooted in unforgiveness. So for episode 4, I'm just going to ask everyone who would see this to please look inside of your house, inside of you, this house, this temple, and say to yourself, do I have unforgiveness? Do I have unrealistic expectations of people? Am I a note taker? Am I being good to people just waiting for them to fall? Ask yourself that. And if you are, get in the comments. We'll talk about it. We'll figure out what to do to put it. I want to interact with you. I want to help. And I want you guys to give me feedback. But at the same time, you got to do the work. We are all here just to do the work. And that's it for today's episode. Bye.